What's the one thing that can change everything? Today we're talking about self-awareness, what it is and how you can get better at it. Why do I see value in self-awareness? I see value in self-awareness because it can make you a more confident person. It can make you a more creative person. It can also bring you success. And it can also make you a more effective leader. So what is self-awareness? Self-awareness is knowing yourself, being 110% honest with yourself about what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and are you playing toward your strengths and not your weaknesses? So what do I mean about being honest with yourself? What I mean is you need to lock yourself in a room. You need to sit with just your thoughts, no phones, no electronics. You just need to sit and think. You need to sit and think about your strengths. You need to sit and think about your weaknesses. Then you need to critique yourself. And when I say critique yourself, I don't mean sit there and say, well, this isn't happening because of this, or why this is not happening. What you need to do is ask what you could be doing to improve your strengths, to make them even stronger than what they are. Don't give yourself excuses. This is being self-aware. Now, when you're critiquing yourself, look at your strengths. And you may know a particular subject very well, but the problem a lot of people have is that they bet on their strength and they think that there's no way they can improve their strength when in fact you actually can. So when you're critiquing yourself, try to stay positive and keep an open mind that you could always learn more to make your strength even stronger. What I'm trying to say is not to put yourself in a position where you think you know everything. Yes, you may know a subject very well, but you don't want to close off any new information that could actually make you stronger. You want to be able to accept new information and continue learning, continue building your strength. So just know that. Be aware that you don't want to shut down any new information. Just because you may know a subject, stuff always changes, stuff always adapts. To be accepting of this and to be learning as much as possible. So when critiquing yourself about your strengths and your weaknesses, it's always good to poll your friends and family and try to get an honest opinion from them about what they think your strengths and weaknesses are, because our perception is, you'll find, much different from what other people think. Now, a good way to track your progress, to be more self-aware, is to start a journal. I'm not saying start a daily journal, but I'm saying start an evaluation on yourself. Write down your goals, write down where you want to be, and then do that every week, do that every month. Do a self-evaluation, reflect on how far you've come and what you're changing and what you've maybe taken a step back on. You want to be logging this stuff because a lot of times this information is in our head and we have so many different ideas in our head that are floating around. If we don't jot them down on paper, then we can't organize them. And I find that if you actually write stuff down, that you can organize your thoughts so much better than you could trying to decipher and order them within your own thoughts. So another tip here is if you're in a specific environment and you know you're trying to change something, like you're trying to get healthier or you're trying to be able to speak better, whatever it may be, you need to try to pick up on subtle cues that may lead up to not going to the gym or something like that, as an example. Right? If you find that you come home and you sit on a couch and then you lose momentum, right? And so to be self-aware is to pick up on that, to pick up on those subtle cues, to know that, no, I'm not going to sit on the couch because I know that's a cue for me losing my motivation and losing momentum to want to get up and do stuff. So this is another great tip that I think can help you guys in becoming more self-aware. Something else I think could help you guys is to start meditating. And I know it seems really hokey and whatnot, but it's actually helped me a lot, and I've been doing it more over the past year than I ever have in my whole life. And I noticed that it is hard initially to start, but it does get you in the present moment. It does stop your mind from wandering and get some control over it. I'm not saying you can get 110% control over your mind at all times, but it does help. It helps you focus, it helps you stay present so you can become more self-aware. Now, one thing I want to add here is that self-awareness is a daily commitment. You have to be constantly auditing yourself. You have to be constantly checking to make sure that those cues that you notice, that you're correcting them, that you're choosing to do what is right to lead you down the path that you're trying to go, that you're not derailing from what your original goal is. The last thing I want to leave you guys with is to understand that even in this crazy world, the only thing we have 110% control over is ourselves. This is why being self-aware is so important. Because if you're self-aware, if you're self-correcting, you can actually guide your journey to wherever you want to go. If you can self-correct, if you can make those improvements, if you can be honest with yourself and know your strengths and play on your strengths, you can be self-aware. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Nothing's impossible if you're self-aware. I really hope you guys got something out of this video. I know I've become more confident, more successful in my life, implementing certain things, being more self-aware. So if there's any tips or tricks you guys know, please leave them in the comments below for the other people watching this video. And if you guys like what I'm sharing with you guys, please subscribe so you guys can see my latest videos. And until next time, I will catch you guys later.